Details coming in on the SBI fundraise, and see if we can pull that up on screen as well. We're learning that investor interest far exceeds 75,000 crore rupees for a 25,000 crore rupee fundraise. I mean, it's just insane. That's the only word I have for it. Foreign investors are cutting large checks for the SBI QIP is what we're learning. Domestic investors like major mutual funds and insurance companies are participating. I mean, Vishy, who says there's any dearth of liquidity in the Indian markets?
Yeah, that's right. So while your domestic investors are pouring in and they're obviously putting in large chunks of money, what we're hearing is insurance companies like your LIC, of course, they'll be at the forefront to support their distant cousin, SBI. But apart from that, there'll be a lot of other domestic mutual funds and insurance companies who are coming in. What is surprising and what has surprised a lot of people within this fundraising process is the amount of money that the foreign investors are pouring in. You know, checks are ranging from like $400 million to $700 million. And that's something that is major for an Indian lender going abroad and seeking funds. What we are understanding is that these foreign investors seem to suggest that we were waiting for a large ticket QIP to come into the market so that we can come in and invest in it. And that's what they've gotten with SBI's 25,000 crore QIP. As of now, country's largest qualified institutional placement that has happened. The demand, from what we understand, is far exceeding the 75,000 crore mark. That 75,000 crore is already 3 times of the actual investment size. This might be significantly larger. That's what we're learning.
You know, it just tells me, of course, SBI is SBI. It has a giant share in the Indian banking space. But this is something that we were discussing earlier as well, Vishy, that this is a great time for the government, which owns stakes in these very valuable public sector banks, to go in for OFS and mop up some capital there, mop up some liquidity there.
So SBI is the bellwether, right? So whatever happens there, that's essentially sort of an indicator of what is going to happen for the rest of the public sector banking piece. So if SBI is able to gain so much interest from foreign investors and they're coming in with large checks, then that gives a lot of confidence for your other domestic public sector banks to come out to the market and start demanding money at reasonable valuations. You know, even with the current discount, the pricing for the SBI QIP is very, very competitive. So therefore, your other banks and the government looking to sell its stake in the other banks through an OFS will get that, will use that as a base and then demand whatever premium that they want to get on their shareholding at this point.
Okay. All right. So that's exciting. 25,000 crore rupees was the size of the fundraise. All right, the largest ever for any Indian company. 75,000 crore rupees is the kind of capital chasing it. Look at the appetite there, including from foreign investors. So it tells you a lot about the kind of excitement about it. Thank you so much for that, Vishwanath Nair. We're taking a very short break. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're joined by Sameer Arora, founder and fund manager at Helios Capital. We're going to have a detailed conversation with him on all things market. Stay tuned for that and more.